Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another replay cast. Today we are looking at the STA-2, the tier 8 Japanese medium tank, being under tiered as much as you really can be and playing on the city map. This replay cast is gonna serve more like just the mentality you should have when you're in games like this. I mean, obviously this is not how every game is gonna work out, but this is just I'm just gonna try to give some advice on how to approach these games and what to be looking for in games like these. So we start off playing the middle as per usual. Not really much to add to this. I mean, it's a good play to start early off in this map. You can do some spotting, and until the enemy team gets spotted, you know, well, where they get spotted will depend on what we're gonna do next. We do manage to put already one shot into that T-54, and what's important in games like these, probably the most important thing when you're under tiered is play as a support. I mean, there's no real, like, this tank first of all is a support tank that you want to always be playing like support, but in games like these you always want to stick around with something bigger, something better, and you know, watch their back if need to, and play accordingly to that. So now this Bulldog is peeking. I mean, not sure if he's gonna keep peeking. I'm not sure if he knows if the TVP is reloading or not. And now I do block this TVP just a little bit, but we do get away without getting him shot more than once there, so that was not all too bad. Plus, he wasn't really paying any attention anyway, so can't really blame me too much for that as well. But we're literally looking for free damage while trying to not hurt our teammates too much here. Also, these kind of games, it's really important to just recon the area, recon your back, recon your flanks, to make sure that your top tiers know what's happening on the map, if they're paying attention, that is. But that's like the best you can do, really. I mean, there's not really much to it. And now we have the E5 here, and one thing you don't do in this kind of matchup, you don't try to flat out face E5s. I mean, he's there, he can sit there all he wants, I don't really care. If he wants to try to rush me, I have some backup, but we're not gonna peek him, we're not gonna load gold, not gonna try to pen his cupolas, we're just gonna fuck off here. And actually going for, again, supporting that TVP is probably gonna be my next best bet here. This Patton is in a pretty exposed position, so if we could go for that guy together with the TVP, we should be able to get some more free shots, maybe not so free. It doesn't really, you're not really supposed to look after your health so much in these games. Your health doesn't mean as much as it does when you're top tier. When you're top tier, you sometimes need to trade off your health with something, you know, just to get the tank out of the game. But in this kind of game, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you trade your health away, as long as, you know, you still have enough to not get shit on. But trading one or two shots so your top tiers don't have to always is, well, not the worst thing you can do. It's not really ideal either. Best case scenario, don't want to take any damage at all. But when that's not possible, it's not too bad to take these hits. Now again, just moving along, trying to support our tier 9s and 10s. And while doing that, just look for some other shots across the map, and we do pick up the Leopard as well. I6 is dagging his position pretty well, and we kind of don't want to fuck with this. We don't want to sit here, we want to do something else, so we just go across here, the open there, hoping not to get shot, and we didn't, so that works out well. Our team is losing at the moment, and it is looking to only get worse, well, at any point, really. And the ISU is actually in a really annoying position, preventing us from using the map to our advantage. Also, we don't really want to do this flanking, because all it takes is one of them to turn around and I'm pretty much fucked, so we definitely don't want to do that. So the Action X spots the ISU, and we're gonna go for a shot, and I'm not really confident that I have the reload on him, and I don't really want to take this shot, so I potato play here instead, which is better than getting shot in the face with 750. Obviously, if I had the reload, it would have been better to shoot him in the face, but again, didn't really feel like risking that one. As you can see, the enemy team is full of TDs, so we need to try to abuse that. And obviously the way to deal with tank destroyers in a medium tank is just, especially lower tier medium tank, is just to go for tracking shots. Oftentimes you won't even be able to one-shot track a TD, and if you have to shoot him 4 times in order to track him, perma-track him, then it is pretty sad playing these tanks every once in a while. But now the E4 is here, the Gorilla is trying to flank around. I could have set up an ambush for the Gorilla, but he probably would have been expecting that. Then again, that Gorilla player turned out to be a bit silly, but still. Now we go for the tracking on the E4. There's not really much he can do about that, and repair of this was quite an unfortunate time for us, but we get lucky with a tracking shot into actual track link instead of the road wheel, and now the E4 is obviously dead. The Gorilla is the next in the line, and so is the IS-7, and we're not really sure where did the 268 go at this point in the game. Here I kinda expected the gorilla to be looking at me, but he wasn't, so I missed out on pretty easy damage there, which is rather unfortunate, but what can you do? And now we have a E5 behind us, and that is obviously a problem. This gorilla really fucked this one up. I don't even know what the fuck he was trying to do. And the next thing you want to do in these kind of games, you want to just gang up on the guys that your team is fighting and just deal with them. Keep them tracked, keep them annoyed, keep them looking at you like this E5 right here. You really want to take the heat off your teammates if possible. And now the Centurion HyperX is gonna die, but if he dies, then this 268 dies pretty much as well. On this amount of hit points, I'm not worried about not being able to kill him. The problem here is obviously he's gonna have a repair kit, because, you know, full health 268 at the end of the game always has a repair kit. But we do manage to track him, perma-track him with 3 shots, so that's not too bad. Taking that 1 hit at this point is irrelevant anyways. So, you know, it doesn't matter. We keep him perma-track. We get all the assistance, all the damage as well. So this works out perfectly for us. Not so much for the Centurion HyperX to get shot in the face, but, I mean, it works for me. But yeah, what you want to be doing these kind of games is always stick together with your higher tiers. Try to assist them in any way you can. When it's time, try to throw your tank in front of them if they need to, you know, get saved, and try to turn your enemies away from the actual good damage dealers. You can see how actually slowly this tank deals with well, deals damage in general. Anyways, we're not gonna get to the Jagdpanzer, so I'm gonna cut the replay short, and yeah, that's the end plate right here. So we get an Ace Tanker 2609 experience, we get a Confederate, and I'm not even sure what the fuck that medal is called. I think that's for killing tier 10s, 2 tier 10s and a tier 8 medium tank. And we get a healthy 1581 base experience. We did 3847 damage, and we did get around 1800 assisted as well, if I am not wrong. So that is just a little game showcasing a good example on how you should try to play your bottom tier games. I mean, obviously you can't get lucky with teammates like I had every game where they are actually actively hunting down for the enemies while we were losing. That's really how you should be playing at that point as well. And we got our tracking shots on point as well, and we did manage to fuck that E5's day up as well. So overall, a pretty decent game in the STA-2, and I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast, and I'll see you on the next one.